What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to the joiners. Shout out to the Point of View crew. And trip on this. I'd say a year, maybe even a year and a half ago, the corner store told me I was no longer welcome in their establishment. Could no longer benefit from their goods. And that's this real fancy speech for, hey, you're kicked out, you're banned, you're unwelcome. And all this took place, I got banned and kicked out, was made to feel unwelcome, all because of a disagreement over a refill, probably amounted to like 20 cents. Because I had been paying this price for a refill, and I go in one bright, happy Saturday morning, and it was another price. And I questioned, and I was debating, and no yelling, shouting, or getting volatile, none of that, just straight up like, what do you mean? They were not feeling it, he was not feeling it, and he says straight up, you can't come in here no more. I was like, bro, says who? He says me, I'm the manager. And I was like, okay, good enough for me. And I no longer went there, which I didn't care, because there's a store across the street that I liked even better. Their sodas and gas were cheaper. They had better deals on rock stars. Their employees were friendlier. I just went to this one that I got banned from because I had to buy cat food. The other one does not sell cat food. And I have an old dog with no teeth that survives straight up on cat food. And I got to get it. So I get it there unless I want to go all the way to Walmart. Which I don't. So in order to get my cat food, I have to like sneak in. Look, peek around the corner. Make sure that employee is not working. And sometimes I look and that employee be there, so I just leave. But then it seems like for 6 months now, I just have not seen that employee. That manager that banned me, I'm able just to freely go in there and shop and benefit from their goods. So finally yesterday, I asked an employee, I was like, hey, do you have a manager working here anymore that is this size, shape, and color? Like, no, we no longer have that manager. In fact, there isn't even a manager position here. We're all equal employees. But no, that person, I don't know who you're talking about. They're not an employee. They're not a manager. They no longer work here. And I was like, hey, great. I was like, they banned me and kicked me out like a year and a half ago. I thought it'd be, I'd get a chuckle. I thought we'd laugh and joke. I was like, it was foolishness. It was just over a refill. But when I said that, they got kind of setty on me. Like, and I was like, whoa, did I say the wrong thing? Open mouth, insert foot. What happened here? How come the temperature changed and all that? I felt this tension like, well, they said, if the owner tells me that you're banned, I'm not going to allow you in. I said, why would the owner say anything? The owner loves me. I've lived around the corner for 15 years. I'm constantly like in and out of the store. The only person who has a problem with it is that former employee that no longer works here. Oh, yeah, but they continued. But if, start throwing random names out now. Yeah, but if Brian says you can't be here, I'm like, dude, Brian ain't going to say nothing. The owner ain't going to say nothing. It's just that person that banned me, the former manager, former employee that's no longer here. Unless you grab the torch and run with it, then I could see there might be an issue, but hey, if you don't start no shit, there won't be no shit. And I just couldn't believe it was made out to be a big issue. I should never said nothing. I got a couple cans of cat food and just like split, like, my bad. I guess I'll go to Walmart next time. But I mean, disrespect or not? I disrespect them, they disrespect me, what's going on here? I don't know, it's a wobbler, but these stories I have right now for you are not wobblers. They're just straight up disrespect. And in the first story, I actually got disrespected twice. In the same story. So let's just kick it off like this. I'm doing time in Arizona. And my road dog is Bucky from Purdue, San Bernardino. Solid wood. Love this fool. It's my doggy dog, homeboy. Bro, pinochle partner, we clicked. That's the only person I ever got to Boston with. A pinochle. We get every book. Unbeatable. People who try to cheat, they still couldn't beat us. My workout partner. The person I politicked with, he was just my road dog, brother. And if you ever done time in prison, you know all about having a road dog in there. It's almost mandatory. So Bucky is my dog. Now his cellie, though, whole another story. His cellie, MJ, him and I just could not seem to get along for nothing. And I don't know why. But now I do know if you go to a place like prison, or if you go to a place, school, or even work, where there's a lot of people congregating, there's going to be some who don't like you just based on. There's going to be some that's just going to be like, I don't like that dude. There's going to be some that do like you. Walk up, introduce herself, what's up, homeboy? And just like, oh, you look like someone who I could chill with. Like, I like your stilo, what's up? There's going to be some who's like, I don't like that fool. I've done it myself. I've looked at someone and thought, I don't like that person, just based on. So I don't know if that was the case between me and MJ. Is this one of those things? Or if it had to do with a little bit of jealousy. Because he was also good road dogs and friends with Bucky because they're cellies. And they were cool. But I'd show up to the cell and they'd be playing video games. And MJ would see me and he'd get the attitude and he'd get the vibe like, you again? What are you doing here? That's the overall vibe I felt like I got from MJ. Like, oh, you again? You're in my 10-foot radius. I have to share my oxygen with you. Why are you here? Him and Bucky be playing video games. I tell Bucky, let's go do some pinochle, homeboy. And you tell MJ, peace out. Go play pinochle. That's totally understandable because you guys been hanging out in the cell all night. I mean, there's a lot of cell time. So it's cool to have a good cellie. But when the cell door cracks open, you want to go hang out with other people, homeboy. I don't know. Be that as it may. MJ hated my guts, is what I'm trying to say. But the thing that I didn't like about MJ, if I could point something out, and hey, let me add this real quick. His name is MJ, but short for Michael Jordan. I know all kinds of woods with the name Michael Jordan, even Michael Jackson. Where you at? So MJ, old Michael Jordan, if I could pick something out I didn't like about him, it'd be that he would brag and boast a lot on his athletic ability and his fighting style. He came from Susanville, and he would say all the time, in fact, he wouldn't let you forget that there at Susanville, they actually had a mixed martial arts class, an MMA class, taught by a real MMA fighter. They're teaching them, MJ said, and he was in that class for a long time, X amount of months, almost a year, to hear him tell it. And they had all kinds of weights. And they had the thing where it was the board on the wall with all the holes, and you would get the sticks in your hand, and you would, the sticks being, yay big, and you would just use all your, and it would just pump you up, and just look how pumped up and tough I am, and I could just kick anybody's ass. MJ would say. And to me, that's a red flag. It's a red flag when you go around talking about how bad you are and how much this and that. So, MJ and I did not get along. Now, one morning, it was breakfast. And I never go to breakfast. How they would do it there, breakfast would be like at 4 a.m. and then yard open at 5 a.m. It's in Arizona, it's a desert, it's winter, 5 a.m. it's nice and cold. It'd be like mandatory yard, you'd have to go work out. I usually would skip breakfast and just go work out when they called yard. But this morning I decided to go to breakfast and I went. My silly Richie Rich didn't go. Bucky didn't go. Several, handful of woods went. We all went down there together. We all sat together. And right across from me, the table was all MJ. MJ did go to breakfast that day. And so did I. And here we are at the table together. Kind of like an awkward, you're trying to make a small talk and be friendly at 4 a.m. with someone you don't like. So it's just kind of like, yeah. Then he got up to leave. And he made a real super duper smart ass comment to me. And I would love nothing, dude, I would be so happy. I'd love nothing more than be able to repeat that comment he made to me verbatim, word for word. But I can't remember it. It's been some years. I just know it was this smart ass dude. Something to the effect of, see, he had all his food on his tray left. A lot of times people just go to the chow hall to maybe get some fresh air, maybe just to hand off some contraband, maybe just to go for the walk. They don't always go just to eat. And a lot of times they'll have a lot of food on their tray and they'll offer it. It's a respectful, polite thing to do. Hey, I didn't, you want my pancakes? Hey, do you want this? And MJ had all this food on his tray. And he was leaving with several other people. I stayed there maybe with one or two other guys. And MJ did not offer his food to me. But if you just walked away and not offered his food, no big deal. You should offer it out of respect. But if he wouldn't, but he went further than not offer the food. He did not offer it. And then he made a smart-ass comment. Which, darn it, I can't remember. And I think it's something to the effect of, I would offer you this food, but you're so skinny, it looks like you don't eat. Or I'd give you this food, but you spend too much time talking, you're not going to eat it because you talk. Just something rude, not disrespectful, but just rude. Just said it and dipped, bro. And it chapped my hide! I thought about it all day long. I dwelt on it. I used to be bad about that back then. If someone slighted me or did something, bro, I didn't like, and did something that I took offense to, bro, I would sit and dwell on it and I would plot. And that's exactly what I did. All day long, I sat and dwelt on it and I plotted. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to dinner with MJ and I'm going to say the exact same thing to him that he said to me this morning at breakfast. And that's what happened. So dinner rolled around. Dinner! Now, Richie Rich wasn't there because he serves dinner. He worked in the chow hall. Bucky didn't go to dinner. He was staying in getting a tattoo. When they start cracking all the cell doors, let people out for dinner, tattoo artists just ran into Bucky's cell and they just start slinging ink. I went to dinner. I made sure, bro, I stuck to MJ like a magnet. Bro, if he went right, I went right. Bro, I trailed his ass. And I made sure I sat right across from him, just like we sat this morning. I recreated the whole event. Sat there, and then I got up and left. A lot of food left in my tray, and I said the exact same thing to MJ that he said to me. Smart ass comment. Now, I did not think that he would want to fight after that. I thought he would, I knew he would know where I was coming from. I knew he would recognize that as the same comment he made to me this morning. I knew that he would know that I was coming at him, but I didn't think it was fighting type words. I thought it would maybe create more of a wedge between us, sure. And people might talk about it and politic on a little bit. Hey, you know, MJ Splinter, he says that, but I did not think he'd straight out want to fight. So I said that to him. I felt pretty good about it. Like, oh, I got my run back. Went back to my cell. Went home, went to my cell. And that day I had got a clothing package. I had got some beanies and some thermals. And I got a long sleeve white t-shirt, a watch, some Adidas Sambas. And I had not even worn the long sleeve white t-shirt yet because I had just gotten it that day. So I come back from dinner. I go in my cell, put my stuff away, kind of take my state blues off, put my gray shorts on. I put on that long sleeve white t-shirt and my watch. Now Bucky's up getting a tattoo, so now I'm just out in the day room. We come back from dinner, day room's open. I'm kind of just cruising around. I think I had a cup of coffee. We look for a pinochle game. MJ comes in and he's hot, homeboy. You can tell by the look on his face, his countenance. He is as mad as Fizzuk. And he comes straight over to me and he's like, what's up then? And I was like, what's up then, fool? And he goes, go to your cell and wait for me. Dude, say less. I didn't even respond. I just smashed right over to my cell. I took off the long sleeve white shirt because I didn't want it to get ripped and destroyed. I took out the long sleeve white shirt I just got that day in my package. For some reason, I threw it on Richie Rich's bed. And the watch. I don't know, it was just easier, kind of tossed it. I was really preoccupied in my mind. Okay, I'm going to chuck him with this fool. And he ain't no slouch. I'm sure he could fight. So here we go. We're going to fight. I'm focused. And I start cleaning up my cell. I'm putting up anything that might get knocked over. And Richie Rich grabs my white t-shirt and my watch and picks them up. I kind of notice it, but I think he's going to put them on my bed. Like, hey, fool. What's up throwing your laundry on my rack, homeboy? Take your stuff. I seen him pick it up, but it didn't really register. It didn't register. It just came right in and went right out, and I continued what I was doing. Now I'm sitting there with my shirt off, and I'm ready to fight homeboy. I'm ready to get him up. And here comes MJ, and he's got his workout clothes on, a slingshot, and some gray shorts. And he comes to my cell, and we go to square off. And then Bucky comes rushing in. Gets in between us. No, you guys aren't fighting. You can't fight over such a stupid reason. You guys fight, you're going to be disciplined. If you fight each other, you have to fight me first. He's like, I'm against this. What's up? What's wrong with you guys? And now I'm just like thinking to myself, damn, I'm blaming this on MJ in my head, on Michael Jordan. Like, why did he even go tell Bucky anything? He should just went in, he just came down and handled it. Dude, I was thinking to myself, bro, you told Bucky that was your way out. I'm like, you must be scared of me. You went and told Bucky. No one. You know Bucky's not going to be like, okay, you guys are going to chuck him. At the very least, he's going to come down there and want to watch it. He's going to get up and get involved. But you know he's going to break it up. You're his cellie. I'm his road dog. And I think MJ took an easy way out on that one. So be that as it may, bro, okay, whatever they want. And then Bucky makes us shake and promise to be friends and whatever. And they leave my cell and I go out and I see Richie Rich. And that fool had put my long sleeve white shirt on and he pulled the sleeves up. Pulled the sleeves up, dude. I don't even pull my own long sleeves up because why? It damages the wrist. It stretches it out. I mean, these package shirts they send us from Walking Horse are not the greatest brand. They're not going to hold up to that kind of abuse, homeboy. I was more mad at Richie Rich than I was even at MJ. I'm just like, dude, I want to freaking, dude, take my shirt off, bro. It's not even a shirt no more. We're going to start using that to clean the sink. I'm going to render it useless. Bro, how can you? I couldn't believe he put my brand new shirt on. But then you can't be mad at Richie Rich. I'm yelling at him. He's so trip on this. I know this white Southsider named Lance. I know him from the neighborhood, the streets first. Not from my neighborhood. Just when I know him from the city of Bakersfield. Let's put it that way. Running amok. And he always wore the same thing. I'd always see him wear zip-up Ben Davis shirts. And hold on real quick. Little Mander. Here's your... Been looking for that. So, bro, Lance, this white Southsider. Always see him wear the Ben Davis. Now, you gotta be careful with that because if you have a blue Ben Davis shirt on, you know, the zip up, the Dickie style, and blue pants, looks like you're a gas station attendant. It's like I'm, 20 on pump 11, where you at? But he managed to pull it off. Good, solid dude. Good homeboy. White Southsider from Bakersfield. I knew him from neighborhoods. Then I seen him in a place called Set Free. Set Free is a Christian-style rehab, but it was made by convicts for convicts. So when you go to Set Free, you're going to be around a bunch of parolees and ex-convicts and prisoners and ex-addicts. It's by convicts, for convicts. People go up there, and it's Christian-based, and they get clean, straighten out their life. And I had gone there. And lo and behold, one day old Lance comes driving up. And I was like, what's up, Lance? Good to see you, brother. I was like, are you here to straighten out your life? I go, can I lead you in some prayer? He's like, no, my life's fine. My lady's working. I got a house. I'm sober. I just want to be here for the weights. I know that Set Free has a good weight pile. I'm just going to come live here. Because at the time, Set Free would take anybody. Anybody that came up with a duffel bag full of clothes, knock on the door. I want to live here. And they'd say, come on in. Welcome. He's like, dude, I just came to live here, bro, for the weights. Which Set Free did have a good weight pile. I'm thinking, bro, that's a crazy reason to put yourself into a rehab. You're totally sober. You just wanted to use their weights. And sure enough, he'd be out there all day long on the weight pile, using the weights, and I was at Set Free with him. And then later on, I see him at County Jail. The farm, the male minimum. That's why I didn't come out the first time, wasn't right. Male minimum, the farm, homeboy. Straight up 900 inmate yard, ran like a straight up level 3, level 4 prison. I was there first, I'm already there, and here comes Lance. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, brother? What are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm going to be hitting the weights. I'm like, I know you are, bro. And sure enough, the next day, Lance is out there on the weight pile. And we had the type of weights. There was free weights. There was bench pressing. But it was made in such a way it was stuck on the barbell. You couldn't get the barbell off the thing. It was like a thin cage welded around it. They took some precautions with the weights. You just couldn't pick them up and take off running with them. But they did have a weight machine where you can do these, these, behind the neck. And it was the type that had the weight a little... What the heck? The word escapes me. Little plates. And it'll have like a pin. And you'll put the pin in. You'll be like, oh, this is 50 pounds. You take the pin out and adjust it. And it's like, whoa, now it's 150 pounds. Well, this pin that you use to adjust those plates was not stuck to the gosh darn weights, bro. It was not tied by any kind of a wire. You would think it would be. It's not tied by any kind of a wire. Or I've seen sometimes they have a ring and like a steel little cable. Something that tying it and anchoring it to the machine, it didn't exist. This big long pin, a metal pin like this, was just totally free. And I'd say Lance is only on the yard for a couple of days until one day they said, yard recall, and Lance takes the pin out and like puts it in his waistband. And not many people seen it, but the people that did see it were like, bro, what in the fizzuck are you doing, dude? So only a few people saw Lance take that pin and put it on his person. And the people that seen him, he just looked at him and like, I got this. And then back at his barracks, people start asking him. His people, the Southsiders, Woods, people are saying, dude, what's up? Why'd you do that? He's like, dude, because I'm not going to let some dingaling, some dumbass, some lame come grab the pin and you lose it or break it, and then now I'm not able to work out just because some dork came and messed up the pin. No, I have it. I'm going to keep it. You know me, I'm always on the weight pile. It'll be there if anyone ever wants to use it. I'm just going to hold it and keep it safe. And no one really knew how to take that. Like, what? Like, is that out of line? You're thinking? It kind of is out of line, but I mean, should we let Lance just hold it and keep it safe? Like, let's just see how this plays out, everyone's thinking. Let's just see how this freaking plays out. So, should we just allow Lance to hold on to the pin to keep us safe from the dorks and the dinglings? We've never been faced with this sort of situation before. Let's just see how it plays out. And for a couple of days, everything was, fine, but kind of strange. Lance was out there first thing in the morning. He stayed, hey, sun up to sundown, yard open to yard closed. He was there on the weight pile with the pin. If you want to use those weights, feel free. There's the pin. But then, Lance started sharpening it. Sharpening it. On the down low at first, tucked in the cut in the corner, and then it's on full blast in front of everybody. And it tricked people out. And they said, dude, again, even his own homies, the Woods, why? He's like, oh, bro, this thing, it needs oil. It needs a lube. It gets stuck. So I'm just sharpening it so it'll go in and out easier so that we could all have a good workout and enjoy our days. I'm doing it to help us, homeboy. It's not going in and out so easy. I'm sharpening it. For that. Like, okay, bro, we're feeling it, but not really feeling it. And something was getting ready to happen. Real quick. I apologize for all the pausing. My dogs are acting up. You can't hear them, but I can. They want to go outside. I wanted them just to wait till the video's over. My bad. I actually might end up having to do this video over. And I already done it once. I forgot where I left off at. Lance was sharpening the pin. Tripping people out. Hey, it goes in and out easier. Goes in and out easier. Then the next day or two, he's playing pinochle. And he doesn't even go to yard. Yard open! Yard open! Everyone go to yard open! And Lance is sitting playing pinochle. And everyone's like, and a skinhead of all people, homeboy Billy from Taft, Billy from Taft said, hey brother, can I see that pin? We're going to go hit the weight pile. And he goes, go get one of my homies. Billy's like, what? He goes, go get one of my homies that's standing over there. So Billy got a Southsider, and one of the homies, hey, Lance wants to talk to you. And the Southsider went over there, and Lance handed him the pin. And said, go put this on the weight pile. I'll be there in a minute. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back right there. That tricked everybody out. Because like, dude, what? Now you can't, now you're saying the Woods and the skinheads, the wood pile in general, does not have access to this weight pin, this workout pin? You're only going to give it to your homies? You're kind of looking at it like we all are, that now this went from a weight pin to a straight up weapon. Shankarooski, homeboy. You're saying the whites can't even have it? Dude, it tripped everybody out. So then when that day you go on the weight pile, it was crazy. Because people who never worked out were there working out. And people who usually worked out were not there. It was just all upside down. It was a trip because everyone was plotting and politicking. Because like, alright dude, this ain't right. This ain't gonna fly no more. We're gonna do something about this. Then finally Lance made it out there and working out. And he had the pin. And yard recall. And Lance takes a pin. Hides it on his person, goes back to the barracks. And that's when the Woods all start plotting by way of kite. Shooting kites from barracks to barracks, letting everybody know, putting the word out. We're kicking it off tomorrow on the weight pile against the Southsiders. Here was the plan. We were going to be out there working out. And when it was a Woods' turn to drive, he was going to adjust the pin, adjust the weight plates with the pin. And he was going to take the pin out, but instead of it putting it in a new slot, he was going to put it on his person and say, this is mine. I'm keeping it. There are no more weights. This is our shank now. We're not going to relinquish it to the yard no more. It's ours. Knowing damn good well that Lance was not going to let that fly. None of the Southsiders were. As soon as that wood grabbed that pin and put it on his person, he's probably going to get socked. It's going to be on and cracking. Someone's going to grab him, kicking off a riot, bro, but we're going to have the steal. But dude, before that could even happen, I'd say an hour or two after that shot was called, after all the kites had been passed, the cops come in 3 or 4 deep and snatch all Lance up. Take him away. Him and the pin. We did lose the weights, and Lance is gone. We lost Lance. And at the time, I thought nothing of it. I thought, you know what? Maybe they saw him sharpening it one day. They walked by. The barracks have big windows. I thought maybe they saw him sharpen it. Maybe they saw the tension on the yard. Some of those cops do walk around binoculars. They hide and they watch everything. I didn't think nothing of it. But it took me several years to realize he got told on. Someone snitched. Someone dropped a kite. At the time, I wasn't thinking, bro, we got a rat, we got a mole, there's a rodent. Someone told, but dude, that's exactly what happened. Someone made a kite. Hey, they're fighting over this shank. Gonna be a riot tomorrow. Southside's gonna take her for, Wood's gonna take her for, whatever. Hey, snitch, tell, a big old kite. And then mail call, I got mail, drop in the box, homie. Just like when I was at Mesa Verde CCF and that fool dropped that kite. Over us smoking in the dorm. What kind of convict, what kind of criminal would care of his fellow man if some other convicts, some other inmates smoked inside the dorm? I'm not much of a smoker when it comes to tobacco, but I don't care if people smoke in the dorm. I'm not afraid of secondhand smoke. I'm not going to go tell the cops. But because people were smoking in the dorm, they dropped a kite. But this is what they said, though, in the kite, and here's why. Now, they would sell you tobacco, but they would not sell you matches or a lighter. Because they didn't want you smoking indoors. They'd sell you tobacco to smoke on the yard, and on the yard there was a button thing you'd push, and you do, and it would get red hot, and so there was lighters and ways to light your cigarettes. On the yard, they didn't give you any form of portable fire. They didn't want you smoking in the dorms. So what people would do, they would take a piece of paper and scribble on it with a pencil and build that lead up real thick. Then you put the lead in the microwave and turn it on, and it catches fire. And you pull it out and light your cigarette. And someone dropped a kite. Hey, they're using the microwave to light their cigarettes. And they're starting a fire, catching a fire, smoking, doing all this. And but they try to take that little kite, that little snitch note, and slide it under the door into the cop shack where the cops all hang out and go to. They have a little door. And they try to slide it, but a little piece of the tip of the paper is sticking out enough for someone to see. Like, what's that? And grab it. And sure enough, tattletale. We got a mole, we got a rat, and that whole thing almost ended up being a big old riot of who told it, and it was crazy. Madness.com, homeboy. All that in a big bucket of boats. So that's what I have for you today. Again, I apologize for all the pauses. The fur babies were, now I'm going to let them out now. They're going to have a coup. They're going to take over here in a minute. None but the utmost love and respect. Cut the string, let it fly. Peace.